Hello everybody, I am the Howling Gamer. In the past few weeks, part of the reason I admit I've been a little bit late with the updates is because I've been going back to an old game of mine that honestly has been pissing me off and causing me trouble in hell. And why am I still playing this game, you ask? Well, to answer that question I have to give you a quick story. A long time ago, not even a long time ago, more like a month ago, so long time for me, I recommended this game to a friend of mine because I just liked it at the time, and I had a pretty cool game I could play with it. The game was called Digimon World Next Order. And he asked me, why do I like Digimon so much? Why not Pokemon? And I listed off a number of reasons. Main two that I'll list right now that I have my faves for it is because there is no shaming in the dark type for Digimon. They're not even always the main bad guys. And the other thing for me was the fact that you literally were not stuck in a set evolution line when you had your character. They could go wildly different. But with those reasons aside, I still showed him the game, but I never did, and I still think it's a sin that I never told him how wrong of a choice it is to get that game without getting some knowledge for it. So, that being said, this is both my ways to make amends to that friend, and also to help you guys with a game that is horribly mistranslated, utterly broken, and has a horrible interface that doesn't really tell you the information you really need. I'll be going over 3 tiers of info in the following videos. And then afterwards, I'm going to be doing the top 20 characters to get into your village for the game. This, of course, being the first bit, so we're going to call this our little rookie video. So for those of you who have not unlocked any new paths in your world, this is for you, and I'll be doing whatever I can to avoid spoilers. First tip I have for everybody is mainly a suggestion more than anything else. While you're playing the game, go to Facebook or some other social media website and simply ask your friends which Digimon you'd like them to be, or rather they'd like to be as. In your playthrough, you will get a random Digimon to be digivolved as. It is not set whatsoever, and they will not know either. Later on in the game, you might unlock a way to know, which is when you should stop the game, but aside from that, it's a good way to get a little bit of extra fun out of it with your friends, and while they can feel like they're part of your gaming life as well. Just a suggestion though, not really so much a tip to help with the game, more to help with your enjoyment of it. Next little tip for you, that's an actual tip, is that rookies actually have their info for free. While you're in the in-training form, you'll be able to spy out all the requirements needed for a rookie form. However, when it comes to champions, ultimates, and megas, you'll need to interact with your Digimon partner in order to find out what's required. Everything from speed, strength to victory, everything is locked, unfortunately. Even what Digimon you can digivolve to. Sorry to say, but that's the way it is. Tip number 3, and the game actually kind of gives you a little bit of a head start of a warning to it, namely being anytime you see a exclamation mark on your map and you simply try to go to it to talk to the Digimon, it's a great idea to save first. As such, even getting close to some Digimon, as this Patamon here, will actually initiate a forced combat. Some of them, when you talk to them, it will still do forced combat, and other of such either having deceptive dialogue or at least giving you a chance to back out of it. More often than not, though, you might find yourself underprepared and unable to take a fight, seeing as they give no info. Tip number 4, that matters a bit more mid-game than actual beginning stage, that being that right now, from my understanding, wisdom and speed are worthless. What you want is stamina and strength. Stamina is your defense for this game, while strength is still strength as all other games. But the speed and wisdom, as far as I've seen, have done nothing. Speed's meant to make your Digimon act faster, and it might help at the very beginning, but it won't take long for you to see that it's not worth it, unfortunately. Wisdom, unfortunately, doesn't seem like it actually even works in the game correctly. Tip number 5 is a very quick, easy one. You have many different trainer abilities you can gain throughout your journey. The very first one you should go after, no matter what, is under the Walker type. Health Runner, and then afterwards go for the MP as quickly as possible so you do not waste as much time or energy having to heal after fights. Quick mention of the pink box in Gigi's house. Simply go over to it and talk to it. You'll be able to get some much needed items for later on in the game and give you some free items pertaining to some battles you take or some quests you can take through it. Tip number 7 being that remember that your order actions do not cost you NP, so you can use them if you're all out or running low. Tip number 8. Loss and death are not as severe as you think. When it comes to loss, you will be warped back to the village, same as death, so you don't have to worry about being stuck in the middle of nowhere in the most simplest baby form. Real quickly here for tip number 9, keep in mind that your partners are actually NPCs. If you ever find yourself in a difficult way and need to block your enemies off, you can use them as scapegoats to get through. Final tip I have for y'all, and I'm sorry I didn't get footage for it, is that those little resource bits you've been seeing, those while being fixed, are indeed fixed. However, enemy placement and items you can actually pick up to give to your Digimon are not fixed and don't always appear at the same places, same times, or as such. Most notably, you'll encounter a King Digimon from time to time, which is the best example of not everything appearing as you would expect it to. That all being said, I hope everybody's been able to use some of the tips and tricks that I have. Even if you're in the late game, you might be able to use some of the tricks, such as using your own using your own partners as NPCs to help avoid fights, much like I've shown much later in the game. Anyways, I will see you guys next week, Wednesday, when I release not our late game, but rather before our final boss set of tips. I'll see you guys then. Good night and goodbye.